Are you wearing a 20th Century Fox t-shirt?
No. Good morning to Zero Hit Points. Today is Wednesday, August 2nd. I'm Ryan Miller. Hush, hush, sweet Matthew. It's Matt Amberg. It's early, man. It is. What are we doing?
Well, it's almost lunchtime for me.
That's true, because you live in the future.
I do, and it is the same.
Disappointing. Oh, the same.
Yeah, it's nothing is different from here to there. To everywhere.
It's like Time Machine with Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing.
Yes. Also that.
I like that movie.
I am okay with that movie.
I kid because I love.
I don't love it, but I like the Morlocks. They were fun. That was a cool design. Who was was it Malkovich? Who was the head Morlock in that movie? It was somebody weird.
I don't remember.
It was like Jeremy Irons or something.
Stay tuned for next week where I for sure will talk about that movie.
Yeah, you know what? Guy Pearce time. I love it. He pierces my soul.
Guy Pearce is a funny dude. Like remember when he was Memento and then like had that cachet and then did stuff that wasn't that, but still does really good stuff.
Well, he did LA Confidential, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, dude.
One of the best.
You're rounding out the movie selection for next week just within the first 2 minutes here.
Well, and then he did a whole bunch of weird movies. Like he did Ravenous, which is a movie I still recommend and think is amazing.
Never seen it.
You should watch that one. That's a good one.
We've talked about it, I think. Yeah.
Multiple times actually. And he did a movie, one of the best Westerns I've seen in forever. It's about the hotel chain. It's fantastic. And no, it's a Western movie.
Is it called
No.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a very good Western film, but I said best Western, and I sponsor us. I love your hotels. Yeah. He did this Western called The Proposition. Yeah, that's what it's called. It was written by Nick Cave, and it is a fantastic movie. Super mean, like real mean.
I need to catch up on my Guy Pearce movies. You know what happened?
And also, he did Space Jail.
Lockout?
Space Jail.
Yeah.
Lockout.
Yeah, that was bad. That wasn't even like, I couldn't.
Space Jail? No good?
I think we talked about that on the show.
I think we have.
Yeah, no, it's not. It couldn't. There wasn't anything. And I've never seen him again.
See, that's like, there's so many better Space Jail. Again, like Outland. Sean Connery, Space Cops. Love it.
Yeah, that one too. Guy Pearce, everybody. Hey.
Welcome to the Guy Pearce Power Hour. I've been good. How are you?
Fine.
It's all coming to an end. It's all coming to a close.
Yeah, my wife gets home today.
Your wife gets home today. All of our friends that were here left yesterday.
Oh, hey, there. See, now we can play.
Yeah, exactly. Now we'll have time to finally play video games. After all this, how do we go this long and play like for four games for like 3 hours? That's what we did.
We had a good spoiler alert Forza Horizon session. I mean, I feel like I almost want to stream that on Thursday. Actually,
it was super fun. Yeah,
Blizzard Mountain. Yeah,
Blizzard Mountain's a great time. Like it so much more than Legoland or Hot Wheels Land, whatever the hell it's called.
Nobody knows. There you go. Teased. Before we get that far, though, do you have? I'm going to make sure I don't just gloss over any other important Ambergisms.
Yeah, they happened. I didn't get a ton of time. Our friends were still here this week, and they were gonna go camping over the weekend, and that got canceled because it was raining like balls where they were going camping. So I didn't get a real amount of time to do anything, but I did.
And we were like in a game because you're like, they kind of left for the first time. We're like, yeah, we're playing games. This will be, don't worry. See you in the morning. And then
it didn't happen. And it was just devastating, devastating. But I was able to squeeze in a movie, and it was a movie that I have not seen yet. It's pretty good. It's called Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping,
man. Okay.
starring the lonely Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty humorous. I wish I had seen that movie in the theater, man.
That's pretty humorous?
It's funny. It's funny. It's not. It's very different than Hot Rod. There's
that's
a
the bar,
huge.
right?
You've got a huge jump, and if I have to put them side by side, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch Hot Rod over this one every time because Hot Rod is a little more ridiculous. This is totally a great satire of the music industry of what especially
Gotcha.
what we assume it looks like from the outside and the stupid infighting and things that happen between group. It's a satire on that. That's and they pick up with the other like kind of thing they poke fun at heavily is reality TV.
Nice.
Because the whole movie is a reality show. And I mean they do good some funny stuff. Like the best parts of the movie are really like they're few and far between when it comes to Samberg, because he's kind of the driving force of the movie. But Jorma Taccone is like that dude. Freaking, he is hilarious and
he's a nut. Yeah.
In every part. So he
director of MacGruber himself.
He and one of the writers of he was in Hot Rod, one of the writers of that too, and writers in the
Lonely Island dude. Yeah.
He is one of the Lonely Island guys. He he has some funny bits. He's the whole like the basis for this movie is that Connor the number 4 real, Samberg's character, he was in a band called the Style Boys, and then for some reason people picked him out as like the one with cachet, and then he kind of went off. Yes. And he went off and wanted to do his own thing, and he gets into a fight with Akiva Schaffer's character, who also directed the movie and is the other Lonely Island person. But sticks with Jorma, and it starts with like Jorma's creating the beats and like mixing stuff and scratching records, all that stuff. And then as you get like into the movie, like where they're at currently, he just hits play on an iPod, and they joke about it repeatedly that he's a DJ that does absolutely nothing. That he gets up on stage, pushes a button on an iPod, and then just it's really funny. But it wasn't nearly as memorable as Hot Rod.
So when you say satire, what end of the Lonely Island satire spectrum are we on here? Are we closer to Hot Rod, or are we like? I feel like a lot of their more recent stuff has been pretty kind of not serious satire, but there's an underlying message more than like they're maturing. I guess
it's definitely the more mature version of it. It's totally the more mature like stuff you would have seen coming out of SNL. It has some of that like that Hot Rod style goofiness to it, but it's not like ladled in it like Hot Rod. It's not built on the back of it like Hot Rod is.
There aren't any cool beans moments is basically what you're saying.
No, but what it does have a really good soundtrack. They wrote some really funny raps and songs for the
nice.
thing.
I'm actually meant to check out that soundtrack and the movie, but
and cameos up the yang, man. There's just tons of people in it. JT is totally in the movie and has
he's better. Yeah, they're best friends anyway.
He has 2 really funny bits in it. There's
himself.
No, which is also the best part. Yeah. Sarah Silverman's got some pretty funny bits in it.
Nice.
As always, you can always count on Maya Rudolph when she shows up. She's funny
every time.
Yeah, like super good cast, some really funny bits, just not nearly like it's not as memorable as Hot Rod. It's
sure. Hey, high bar, man. Like
Hot Rod's a tough one.
Okay.
It's real hard to hit that movie again, and I don't know that they'll ever make that movie again, or even try. But.
So next week might be Time Machine, LA Confidential, and Hot Rod. All right.
You can't go wrong with most of those. That was it, though.
All right.
Yeah. What about you? What do you got? Anything?
Well, I have so many things.
Good.
And the weird thing is I have a couple of these that I don't know how much I can say, even though like this. Like, okay, first movie I watched was Leaves of Grass. You ever seen that?
No.
Fantastic.
I can't look.
It's been on my list.
I'm into nature, but I'm not just gonna watch 2 hours.
You will when I tell you about it. But been on my list since Roger Ebert was alive, basically, where I heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's Ed Norton playing two different characters, two brothers, one of which is this super smart college professor guy. They're both from down south. The kind of protagonist of the story is the brother that got out and made a name for himself and is about to get hired by Harvard, etc. And his brother, who stayed with his mom, Susan Sarandon, and has the same level of intellect. A couple times they say he's actually smarter than his brother, but dedicated it all to weed farming. And has built up, like, it's first off one of the best kind of dual actor things I've seen, like an actor that plays two different parts. You know, and I don't mean like the split screen was really good, even though it was like there's still like I can still kind of pick that out. You can always tell, but it's just the way it's put together perfectly, and they play off each other and they're characterized. I mean, Ed Norton's the one to do it, right?
Yeah. But
just in like super specific ways that are really like that part's really really good.
Eddie N.
But it's like a serious kind of drama, like at its core. But it uses that brother and his weed operation as leavening, you know, like it lightens the whole thing. It makes it so it's not, because he's the smart brother's in a relationship with Felicity. Gosh dang it. What's
Sure. Felicity Smoke from Arrow. That's who Oliver is going to be angry.
The actress who played Felicity and will never be called anything else by anybody
else.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. She only looks like Felicity. Yeah, I don't know what her name is. But I know who she is.
She's in there. She does a great job. And there's all these like really heavy lines. And it is, at its core and underlying, it deals with some themes that are super complicated. But it gets them across, and then it uses this foil in the other brother to kind of lighten everything and make it not so, I guess, like you're not trudging through anything. You're not
sure
caught up or overpowered or overwrought by any of these kind of complicated themes that it's trying to communicate.
Because it's about weed.
And then it ends just wonderfully. It's super good, and I had to look it up, and the whole thing was written and directed by Tim Blake Nelson.
love
joking.
TBN. He's fantastic.
And he's in there too.
Of course he is. Yeah, he's got to be.
Really good, man. I need to watch it.
That guy's great.
Definitely watch it.
I'll check that out.
And then I redid The Usual Suspects. Also been on my rewatch for a while.
Man,
only ever seen it once before.
How cool is Gabriel Byrne just in general, but in that movie? Like, he's just the coolest.
Where's he gone?
He made End of Days, and then he just was like, I don't want to make movies anymore or something. I don't know. He pops up in really weird stuff, and he's only ever in movies for like 3 seconds now. It's very odd.
He's exceptionally good in this movie.
I like him. I do remember he did an HBO or a Showtime show where he was a psychiatrist.
Oh, was that it? Did he disappear into TV for a while?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Up to another person. The guy appears next week. Gabriel Byrne after that.
Yeah, you can for no reason, because he's only in the movie for approximately 30 seconds. You could watch Enemy of the State. I don't know why
you already did that for us. I
did. This is a weird thing. I seem to remember him being shown in the commercial, like that scene being shown in the commercial with Gabriel Byrne.
Oh.
He's only in the movie for 30 seconds. Like shows up.
Whoever made that trailer knows what's up.
He shows up like Will Smith or Gene Hackman, one of the two. They look so alike. I can't tell anymore which one's which. They're like in the bathroom with him, and he's like, you've got a bug on you. And they're like, oh man. And then he's like, we've got to go. And then they break off from him, and then he never shows up again. And then you find out that he was like an undercover agent for the NSA.
Classic trailer bait and switch, man. They put the best parts in the trailer. You go see the movie. Where's Gabriel Byrne?
If you can afford Gabriel Byrne for 30 seconds,
you do it.
Throw him in there. So you put him in there so you can throw him in the trailer, and people are always like, that guy.
Why do you think he's not on the podcast with us right now? Can't
afford 30 seconds.
Can't afford him.
I love The Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects is the perfect example of a movie that it can't, for something that has such a huge reveal, and I'm going to reveal it, but here's why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You cannot be spoiled by finding out that Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Sose. It holds up to rewatching, might be stronger after the fact because of that. Because the Kevin Spacey carries it, number one, for sure. The story's still compelling, still mysterious, and again, it's been a while since I saw it. So, if I had remembered more of it, I don't know. I still think I wouldn't have cared because it's paced perfectly.
It is,
and the characters themselves are all just it might be the best ensemble piece. It's in the top 5 for sure of all ensemble pieces. Yeah.
One of the best parts of that movie is going back and figuring out how much of what he's telling is truth and how much isn't. Like how much of what is that story? How many of those people Chaz Palminteri knows that those people actually existed, but he doesn't know anything really beyond that. And that's the whole movie is it's the unreliable narrator, and that's the best part of the movie is that your unreliable narrator is the person who, in theory, is the most reliable narrator, just choosing not to be.
Dude, it's freaking Kaiser Sose. Like the narrator is God, basically. Like in the story, and this is the first, like I said, this is only the second time I've ever seen it. This is the first time that clicked with me because I was watching it knowing I knew the reveal. I knew he was Kaiser Sose. And then it gets to the points where it's like, especially towards the end, where it's got kind of these long zoom ins or tracks on Kevin Spacey while he's sitting there while supposedly everything's going down on the boat. And I'm like, why? Like this can't be happening because I know he's Kaiser Sose. So this part I know for sure isn't true. All these long tracks on his face can't be because he's the one. And then literally right then, that's when I clicked. I was like, oh, he's the freaking one telling the story. Right? Yeah. Like he's the one that,
the unreliable narrator, man. It's when that device is used properly and well, it's
I don't know that it's used better anywhere else, honestly.
I'm sure there are good examples, but I don't know. Like that's definitely one of the best, if not for sure. It's up there. Good flick. Christopher McQuarrie, man.
Yeah. Who is he?
He wrote it.
Oh yes, he did. He sure. I didn't. Yeah, I haven't looked that deep.
And
Bryan Singer directed it. What else has McQuarrie done?
McQuarrie.
It's a bad question. That's like the worst question you can ask. You look that up. The music is also fantastic. It's like this kind of. I kept thinking of The Godfather anytime it picked up. Like there's a crazy Godfather vibe to that whole thing, especially that the music adds, where it's just and it's part of the mystery. Like it's part of it comes together really well.
For sure. Okay, so here's where Christopher McQuarrie went crazy. He also wrote this movie called Way of the Gun, which is fantastic. He wrote Jack Reacher. Way of the Gun. Yeah.
Was that the let's before we get there. Way of the Gun, was that the one with
Ryan Philippe, Benicio, Juliette
Del
Lewis?
Toro. Okay, yeah, that was a great one. Yeah, okay.
Great flick. So
that
he
makes
did
a lot of sense now. I didn't know that.
He also did he wrote Valkyrie, which was the Tom Hanks flick or the Tom Cruise flick, the Nazi.
He kind of went off the deep end. Jack Reacher, Valkyrie.
Yeah, that Jack the Giant Slayer. Then he did Edge of Tomorrow, then Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
Edge of Tomorrow was good. Okay. Wow, really? Okay.
Then The Mummy, and then he did Mission Impossible 6.
Whoa.
So
which The Mummy? The new Mummy.
New Mummy, the Cruise Mummy.
Okay. Yeah. So he's Tom Cruise's man now. That's fine. You know what? You make Way of the Gun, you make Usual Suspects, you do whatever you want after that. And Edge of Tomorrow was freaking good. So
and Edge of Tomorrow's cool.
Yeah, okay. I watched a documentary called Batman and Bill.
I freaking totally forgot about the documentary that I watched also. But yes.
Cool, that's fine. No, we can do it because this is going to be quick. There's documentaries where, and we talked about this a little bit off the air, there's not much to say about him. Like unless it's like, you know, something with all those weird leafy award signs on the beginning of it.
Yeah. Like if it doesn't have a wreath of some type.
Yeah, or some, yes.
Like
it's
if it doesn't say
just
palmed it.
The information is the thing about it. And this is one of those. Like this, it's definitely kind of a post Errol Morris documentary, and that it very much like think about, I guess there's kind of when he changed the game with, what was it? Thin Blue Line? I have to go back to that.
Thin Red Line.
The father of kind of modern documentary filmmaking, really, if you think about it, his stuff. It's got a very...
Thin Blue Line.
Okay. Very recognizable signature to it. This is definitely post that. Like they used a lot of the same tricks. It's stuff you see in every documentary now that makes it very good looking and very well made, but was basically done for the first time by Errol Morris. This is one of those. It looks good, but it's not anything that's going to win awards or anything like that. The information, on the other hand, I'll do my part. Bill Finger was the guy who co-created Batman with Bob Kane, and was summarily kind of buried by Bob Kane. And that's not even like a mean way to put it.
Does the documentary go into how his name came back to... I'm trying to remember if it was the 1989 Batman is where it first got put back.
No.
That's just as Bob
Batman
Kane.
versus Superman, actually.
Really?
Yep, that's it. And that's the film kind of ends with that, because it's a fight to get Bill Finger's name put on there. It starts out slow. The information they're kind of giving to you piecemeal, which at first was, it's always annoying to me when they make a statement and then they give you some evidence and don't tell you where the evidence came from. Right. I'm like, well, if you just told me where the evidence came from, this would be open and shut. And then I'm like, oh, I guess that's why you don't tell me. So then the movie is basically about, and they have Kevin Smith, they have everybody on there that's basically making the case and talking about how they do believe that the case has been made, and they make a convincing argument. Like after I was done watching, like Bill Finger helped create Batman and was totally sidelined contractually or otherwise, doesn't matter, is one of their points, by Bob Kane, who they show plenty of footage to be like, yeah, it's Bob Kane was a total like fame-seeking jerk. Like, it's not a stretch of the imagination.
He's a jerk.
They both had contributions, but that's that documentary.
Yeah, and
it's still worth watching. Good information.
Yeah, and then similarly, and I guess maybe this is because we had this conversation offline. We both watched a documentary called
that's right.
It's called Can we laugh at ourselves? What is it called?
Take a joke. Can we take a joke?
Can we take a joke? Yeah. So okay. Let me give you a little bit of a better intro there.
Yeah, no, I'll cut all that out. Don't worry.
Can we take a joke? It was it's a documentary that's kind of focused around how comedians react to outrage culture and the concept of being shouted down at shows and what's not, where is the line and should it be crossed? Can it be crossed? Is it allowed to be crossed? It's a pretty good documentary, but it's the same thing where it's a ton of information that the documentary actually focuses pretty heavily on Lenny Bruce and what Lenny Bruce did and what he fought for as a comedian. And it briefly touches on Carlin and Richard Pryor, but it kind of focuses mostly on like going between Lenny Bruce and then current comedians like Lisa Lampanelli, Gilbert Gottfried, Penn Jillette. They all have kind of conversations about it and what it means and how they deal with it. And good documentary, good stuff.
It is fascinating stuff. Yeah, and I didn't know. Like I had heard about Lenny Bruce for a long time, just from other comedians and stuff, and I knew parts of his story. I didn't know how tragic it was. And maybe that's they kind of lean on that a little bit here. So I don't know what license is taken, but they make it sound like, after he was being pursued by the cops, which that's all true, for his brand of humor, the first of its kind, probably inarguably, but they basically like arrested him and hounded him so often that did he commit suicide, or he died alone? And
he started doing drugs and
that's right.
He overdosed. Yeah.
But the way they paint it was that he was just hounded and he took on the cause to to kind of combat it, but it took a toll on him and
the crazy thing about it is it's a short amount of time. Like it wasn't, we're not talking like 10 years here. We're talking like over the course of like 2 years.
Yeah.
It's not, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of time, especially for a guy who was young. You know, he was in his like mid 30s, I think, or early 40s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I mean, the good news being, I guess, that there's like none of that now. Like they draw the line that cops are now showing up at comedians' performances to protect the comedians, basically, from outrage culture, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of a happy ending. I don't know. Fascinating movie for sure.
It ended. That's how it ended.
And then the last thing I watched was I have a buddy who's been asking me to come to movie night for a while. Yeah, I know. It helps a lot, let me tell you. And he I guess every Friday he does this movie night thing. And I knew that it was like actual projection, like they get the actual film reels from somewhere. I didn't know the whole story, but you know, I showed up, you know, my wife's been gone, so I've had some time. It's 8 p.m. on a Friday, so yeah, I'll hang out with people. I literally felt like this is like I should probably get out like that. So this is one of those. Yeah.
And you immediately regretted it.
No, not immediately. No, not at all. So I get there. It's actually really cool. Like the dude I met that is kind of responsible for putting these on. It's not at his house, but he's the guy that has this projector and is a total collector. Like he collects film reels off of eBay primarily and other places, stuff like that.
Sure.
Which that's me if video games didn't exist, basically. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
It totally, absolutely. Like even now I'm like,
oh, are you kidding me?
That would be cool.
There are totally reels that I like. I do definitely go on to YouTube. I'm like, oh man, if I could get that in 35 millimeter, if I could get
and
that.
To watch them and set that up and watch it. It's like, it's the fidelity is beautiful. I mean, it's film, you know, so it is. It was a really, really cool experience as far as that goes. The movie though we watched was Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte. I don't know this
movie.
I
had not heard of it before either. So apparently the better known film by this dude is Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which I had heard of.
Yep, I do know that one.
I've never seen it. It's Robert Aldrich.
Yeah.
So apparently this was his follow-up after Baby Jane was a big success. The guy who wrote that, or the guy whose book it was based on, had another book called Whatever Happened to Cousin Charlotte, which they renamed it. There's a story to it that is cool. It stars Bette Davis.
Man, it's got a great
in the lead.
Great cast already.
Yeah. Who was the mom from Citizen Kane's in there? I can't remember.
Olivia de Havilland.
No, that's the cousin.
Agnes Moorehead.
Agnes Moreland, that's it. Yeah. Very like what's the year this thing came out so people know?
This movie, Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte, came out in 1964. Okay,
so you get an idea. Like it's from that period. It's been a while since I've seen a movie from this period where so it's at the same time got these kind of upper scale trappings, but the story they chose kind of brings in some of these kind of B movie horror aspects. So it's a really cool combination as far as that goes. But then the pacing is just pure that time period. Like the opening credits sequence takes like 5 minutes. And it's set against Bette Davis literally mugging for 5 whole minutes.
I believe it.
Like, just like tears the whole night. Like I'm like, wow, this is. I don't know if this is bizarre to anybody else right now, but you just don't see this anymore ever. Nor probably should you really. But the whole movie kind of takes that path. Of it's really slow and deliberate, and some of the performances are performances, capital P, like it's almost like the subject matter is taking a back seat. Like
there was a murder,
and nothing that crazy, but like at its heart, yes, that crazy. But it was fun. It was fun for sure. I'll probably end up back at that thing.
Okay, so that movie. Took a quick look, has 2 actors in it that are absolute tremendous actors. Bruce Dern has a part in the movie. Love Bruce Dern. Bruce Dern, most recently probably remembered from Nebraska and or The Hateful Eight. He was in both of those movies. He was also he has had a huge career. Laura Dern's dad, obviously. Dern.
Okay.
One of my he's
job.
he's in my favorite Tom Hanks movie, The Burbs. You got Bruce Dern, but also George Kennedy was in the movie. And did you pick him out? Did you see him and,
I did.
and
no,
think
he's
and
in
wonder
there
where
at the
Leslie
beginning.
Nielsen was?
Yeah. From Naked Gun. And I came in late. Otherwise, I probably would have been a little more, I felt bad for kind of interrupting. So I would have been like, hey, that's the guy from Naked Gun. But I didn't, because I would have ruined
That would have been the best way to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And everybody has my number from then on out. Yeah. No kidding.
That's the guy from Naked Gun. Hi, everybody. I'm the Rye Guy.
Naked Gun's one of my top 10 of all time. I went to film school.
I know what movies are.
That's it. That's all I watched, though.
Cool.
That's it. That was enough.
Cool.
Beans. Video games.
This week was just somehow
we got a good
filled
spread
with
this week.
Filled with games, lots of video playing.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, impromptu, sort of promptu, but mostly impromptu stream. Played some PUBG.
Cool.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. With our buddies, our boys over at the Damn Woods. They come to hang out. We done did the playing. We were real bad at the game. No kills, successful deaths.
Really, no kills at all?
Oh, we're bad. No, it's hard. we get
well, I thought you get one maybe.
No. Okay, look. At least two of us trying to be way overly tactical and like aggressively tactical. We are going to get tactical in you.
I caught some of the audio and it sounded like you guys were. I watched some and then I listened while I was doing something else. It sounded like you guys listening to it. I thought you were killing like tons of people all the time.
Oh no. We were just having a really good time acting like idiots. Yeah, super fun. Love that game. That game is a ton of fun. We're definitely gonna play more of that. That's a game that if you end up picking that up on Xbox, man.
Oh yeah. I think I'm like 90% on that thing on Xbox.
It is so.
Gonna get it.
What I love about this game, and I've mentioned this before, I love that this game is I guess you could kind of break it down to like the first couple minutes, unless you jump into a really populated city. First couple of minutes, you're just collecting stuff. At that point, you're playing the waiting game, or you're aggressively going after people. Either way, it's way more fun than it sounds. Like to be like to quote unquote play the waiting game is just as tense, because all you do is you hear gunshots in the distance and you're like, all right, do I go closer to it? Do I run away from it? Well, the freaking circle that I'm in is getting smaller. I better run towards it, I guess. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Yep. I like the fact that games like this exist and they kind of pseudo lean on having weird physics issues too. Because I never want those bizarro, you driving along, you hit something and suddenly you're like, you've been shot into the stratosphere. Never want that to go away. That's good stuff. And the other thing I love about this,
they're working on making that go away, but I get what you're saying. Which
huge mistake. Just you're losing a sale now. The other thing I do love about this game is that if you're playing with people, which definitely is a ton of fun, you can still spectate them, but you're all going to be in the same area. So when one of you dies, the rest of you are probably dead too. If you're playing with us, anyways, because the way we play, and just to clarify this, is if I am suddenly being shot, I have asked my compatriots to kill me because I don't want anybody else getting killed. Like, they will not take me alive. I will be murdered by my friends. They're like, you've got a first aid kit. Kill me.
Fair.
But I like the fact that you play, you go till you die, you're done. That's it. You hit end, you're out, you're in the menu to restart the game very quickly. You hit the go button, you're in a game really quickly, and you're already restarted. Like
I've heard that's one of the strong points.
It is.
Which I guess makes me think the other games in that genre up to this point made you stay for some reason.
No, I think, well, my experience with DayZ existed with server browsers. So it was, you died and then you kind of, you left unless you were going to try and respawn. But I don't even remember if you could respawn. I don't know. It was always like kind of those are games. The earlier games of DayZ that I played, it was when I died, I was done for the night. Like that, I'm probably not replaying that.
Not a genre we are well versed in.
No, but also not a genre that until this game came out where it's like, again, it leans on
never attractive. Yeah,
it leans on something that I guess maybe Heezy which didn't get my attention. It kind of leans on some of the goofiness to it. Like, it's silly. I like it.
Cool. Hey, tell me about stream sniping.
I will. It's when you go to a streamer's house and you shoot them to death. Okay,
now I can see why you get banned for that. Yeah. But I feel like this is referring to a different practice.
Yeah, the idea of finding streamers and figuring out where they are and going to where they are and
okay, all right, that's what I
killing them, and it's
I guess
dumb.
People are getting banned for that in Battlegrounds.
It's whatever. It's a dumb idea. It's really stupid. If you're going to spend time doing that, like that's I think that the problem
stream
is
sniping is a dumb idea, or banning stream snipers is a
stream sniping is a dumb idea. But in these cases where like this has been coming up, some of the questions have really been whether or not they've actually been cases of stream sniping or if it just seems like it. And part of that comes down to the, what is the delay in what you're seeing to what people are doing, to what's actually happening. I don't know, man.
As always in these cases, it's literally impossible to tell because the guy who says he wasn't stream sniping could just be lying, because that's what like a ton of people who get banned for cheating do.
Yeah, they say I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Like so you don't generally get banned and go, "Oh, yep, no, you did get me. That's fine." I mean, some people do now, I think.
Some people do, yeah.
And then they say, "Okay, well, I'll just create a new account and spend the $60 again because I'm made of money."
Yeah, and they've got their system, and Brendan Green, player unknown. I guess everybody knows him. Put his name out there.
Player known.
Kind of a bad call. There you go.
Yeah.
Is pretty upfront and will talk to you about things or accusations, but
yeah, he says words.
Whatever.
Strong words.
Cool. I was mostly curious.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's how it's going. It's fine. I guess let me jump back for just a moment here.
Okay.
Battlegrounds being a PC game, the puppy that we were puppy sitting is gone. Finally went back to mom. Nobody's here. My PC has now been. I can play on my PC again, so I did. I spent a good time.
The dog was literally camped in front of the PC. Like you couldn't even get the power button.
No, the problem with the dog was that it was in the PC, and every time I turned it on, it would lose a limb. There'd be a whole bunch of blood and fur, and I was like, you know what? I've cut this dog up enough. I'm not really
dog sitter.
Yeah, and then I had to clean up my computer. It was a hassle. Like that dog's a hassle. You bleed on my computer, and now I've got to clean it up, and you've got fuzz. Get out of the computer. What are you even doing in there?
Oh, it's in the computer. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I jumped back into Prey. I got a little bit further into Prey. I've got now another couple of hours into it. That game is beautiful. It's brilliant. It's wonderful.
Still good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so annoyed that I've had to take so much time off of it. I had to go back and I spent quite a bit of time retracing steps, trying to figure out where I kind of was.
That always sucks.
And it's not that it didn't have, I had my objectives and it told me where to go, but having not played it for a while, I couldn't remember what all my things were, what I was doing, how things functioned. So I had to get back into that, and I did, and I got to tell you, so one of the most novel things in the game is having to go out of airlocks into space in a spacesuit. And nice. They're like floating bodies out there that you can go and you can collect stuff, and the weird goo things and monsters they're out there floating in space too. But it's just kind of cool to have like little boosters and be able to fly around the outside of the the Talos space station and everything.
Do they cut the music so it's just like dead silence out there?
Actually, I think they do. Yeah.
Nice.
I think they do. The only thing you hear is the like of your.
That's cool.
Your jet pick.
Big fan of good space.
Yeah, and it's cool too. Like it gives you a thing to where, so you go pretty slow if you're not using the boosters. But if you use the boosters and you don't brake and you like crash into something, you definitely lose hell. I learned how to die in space by thinking I was Dick Trickle.
From Days of Thunder.
No, that's Cole Trickle. Dick Trickle was the real driver.
From real
Milwaukee.
life.
Yeah.
Milwaukee. All right.
Yeah. So Prey, great stuff. I am actively looking forward to continuing that.
How's the story, strictly speaking?
The story, I really like it. I had to go back and reread a bunch of the stuff, and so I'm caught back up, and I like it. It's a familial thing. There's some familial aspects to it. The reasoning behind it is it's unlocking, but it's always suspect. It's kind of that whole like Doom reasoning in some respects, where it's like, all right, it works for this game world that somebody decided, hey, guys, who wants to be a demon? And the bunch of people were like, yeah, no, I'm good. Let's sign me up. That reasoning doesn't hold water in every environment, but in the game world it does. And so far it's good. It's been cool. Yeah.
Someday.
And then I decided to play some really epic games.
Oh dude, man.
I did it.
It must be a MOBA.
I'm hoping to get paid for that.
Oh, it's made by Epic. I get it now.
That's it. Yeah. It was a MOBA. I started playing Paragon again.
Cool. Maybe.
Arctic KL Smith, he friend of the show. He's the community manager for Paragon at Epic.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch him stream when because he tends to stream early in the morning, right around the time I'm up for work. I'm already working, so I figure I'll just put it on and I can watch the stream. Right. And every time he's playing, that game just looks like fun. I'm not good at MOBAs. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll continue to say it. I'm not good at them.
So will the people you play with.
They will, which is why I don't really play with. I don't play PvP because those are the people that get angry. But I did play a whole bunch of solo versus AI and then players versus AI. So I actually played with other teammates. None of those cases did I really have any interactions with anybody, but I had a lot of fun. It was really fun. I kind of found a character that I like, the Fae. She's a pretty fun character. I like the aesthetic and her move set, her kit. I like her kit.
Look at you, MOBA slang. Did you ult on things?
Dude, I did.
In your lane? Did you do lanes?
I laned my ult. It was a lane ult. Nice. Ulti lane from Howard Stern.
We play a lot of MOBAs.
Mobile. I'm very mobile. She's not very mobile, actually. She's quite immobile. She's very slow. She doesn't have a lot of getaway function.
So the extent of my Paragon is literally that video I put together of all the footage you brought back with you from Epic that one time.
Yeah.
How much has the game changed from that footage?
Significantly.
Significantly, like there's different objectives altogether, or are you still
the MOBA objective remains, so it's still towers, inhibitors, and then their final base thing. There's still a jungle, so the jungle things have changed, but the level has totally changed. That level that was there doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
Oh.
There's only one. There's only one map that exists right now at a time, and that legacy map is gone. They built another one, so that was all new. Just a litany of new characters,
right?
Tons of new characters, which changed a whole bunch of stuff. It changed how it was all played. The card system is totally different, and which I just also found out is totally changing in like 7 days or 6 days. I like on August 8th or something. They're doing a huge update that's going to totally change everything that I'm currently learning about the game. So I'm kind of not really going to bother learning too much more about this. See what it's going to go to, but I had a ton of fun with it. It was It was cool, man. I'm trying to understand the role and figure out what I'm supposed to do and when, and nice. Finding the right character is definitely a key to that for me.
Your main?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Your main.
My main. I don't.
Well, now you ruined it. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm trying.
You said Epic Games.
Yeah. There's another game. Do you remember when Cliffy B was like, "Hey, I work for Epic Games and we're making a game called Fortnite. I quit Epic Games."
20 years ago.
And then you never heard about it. Yeah, they finally kind of pseudo released it. It's in early access, paid, whatever. So I picked up Fortnite and played through the intro part, the first little set, and where you kind of are introduced to your character, you're introduced to the some of the basic mechanics of building, some of the basic mechanics of shooting and stuff. And man, that game, I love it. I love where that's going, and I can't wait to play more, because it looks like everything that we had played at PAX, they did take and they revamped it, and it looks different. It feels a little different, but it's all like, it feels good. And it was really, really fun. And I love the look of the game. It just is beautiful. It's like,
I've heard it looks fantastic.
Such a cool cartoony poppy look. And it's not, I won't say the art style is unique, because it's not unique, but it's put to really good use. It's used to really good effect. Because it's
kind of the Team Fortress Overwatch thing, right?
A little bit, but it's even more cartoony than that. It almost is closer to a really HD version of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, like that style of animation. When you like it feels like a 50s style thing, almost, kind of. I don't know. It's weird, man, because it's like retro futuristic. The weapons and stuff are all really, really cool. They've got the loot crates and llamas and piñatas. It's fantastic. And I like this game so much. I have an extra copy that we will be giving away.
What?
Yes. I'm gonna do a Fortnite stream on Friday sometime. We'll let you know early on. It'll probably be closer to 8 o'clock Pacific, I'm guessing, between something like that. So keep your eye.
During that stream, you will give away a copy of Fortnite.
During that stream, I will give away a copy of Fortnite, and we'll give you a code for it. It'll be a good time. Come hang out, check it out. Tell me how bad I am at the game. Make fun of me. Hopefully Ryan will stop in there and yell at you for being there. And, we'll do a fun giveaway for Fortnite Friday. Twitch TV/0HITPOINTS. I think, like I said, about 8 o'clock Pacific.
How will we, or you, decide who gets the game?
There's we'll roll some dice.
Okay. All right.
We'll do some dice rolls.
Okay.
And then played last Thursday for our stream. We did Titanfall. We played some Frontier Defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Titanfall 2, not to be confused with Titanfall the single.
No.
Yeah, this one, there's a pair of them. They're dating.
They released an update, and it came with Frontier Defense, which was in the first game that they added later on, like this one.
And that first game, when they added it, I did not know that, never played it, so this is all new.
I don't think we did, yeah.
I never did. I know for a fact I never did.
I don't know. I got all the achievements, so if there was achievements for it, I probably played it.
Yeah.
It's the horde mode, basically.
And I love it, man. I love that implementation. It's great.
Really good.
I had a lot of fun with it. That game reminds me, every time I pick it up, I'm reminded, that multiplayer is good. It's just there's nothing for me in it. Like I don't want to be good at it.
No, we're not going to dig into an FPS multiplayer for any huge lengths of time.
But I mean, like it's good multiplayer.
It's great.
And
for sure.
But it doesn't do the things like Overwatch has done, or Team Fortress, or any other multiplayer game that I've ever played that I've really fallen in love with.
No.
They're doing all the right things with it. It is exactly what it needs to be. I just don't want to play that.
It caters to a completely different community. Like the people who get into Call of Duty, like this is going after that stuff. Like this is,
and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just the style of it is not for me. But I do love it when I play it. You know, I have no desire to go, hey, let's purposefully play the multiplayer here. The Frontier Defense, different story. I'm actually super into that, and I'd be very, very happy to continue playing that repeatedly for a while.
Yeah, anytime.
That was a very enjoyable mode that I haven't gotten a lot of time with. I mean, pretty much that night.
We breezed through easy. We had some cool clutch moments on normal after that, whatever the difficulty is after easy.
Yeah.
Medium, I don't know.
Easier.
I thought we weren't going to do it. Like we failed. You get 3 failures and we failed 2 like on not even the last level.
It was the third one. The third one. Yeah.
There's 5 waves. So, and then we still pulled it out. That was cool.
You pulled it right out and showed everybody just how to do it.
We did it. And then we did it again.
And
that stream is up. You can watch it. No, we didn't. We just did it 3 times. Don't.
Okay.
I like Titanfall 2 a lot. I think that Frontier Defense mode was great. I think I'm ready to admit that I like how Titanfall 1 played better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Just because they made some significant changes to how you get your Titan, which really affected kind of the pace of each individual battle. And
sure.
I don't know if it's because Titanfall was the first one I played. Like I said, I love Titanfall 2, but
why don't you marry it?
I think I'm a Titanfall 1. Well, that's why, because I would marry Titanfall 1.
Wow.
If we're talking about, if I had to choose between those 2 ladies.
So I see. You're
I go for the older women.
Plural marriage. I see.
What? No, if I married Titanfall 2, well, no, because that's still a singular.
You're gonna marry. Hey, you're marrying them both.
Did you play anything else?
Yeah. Well, we also played some Forza Horizon 3, the Blizzard Mountain.
Oh man, we did.
And that was a lot of fun. Like we just had a massive amount of fun with that. It was, so I had gone through a good chunk of it, probably about halfway. And then Hot Wheels came out, other things. We played other things. So I just kind of didn't pick it back up. You hadn't actually touched it. So
no,
I went through with you. I don't know, probably not halfway, but a good chunk of it.
Yeah, maybe a third. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good chunk of it. And man, that is like just such a great pack.
You're absolutely right. Like Hot Wheels, the Hot Wheels DLC looks, the aesthetic is awesome. Like
fantastic.
Seeing the tracks and all that, like that's cool.
Yeah.
Blizzard Mountain is way more fun to play. And it's because I think when we first started doing all the Forza Horizon 3 talk, I was like, it depends on how the drifting is. That's where I'm sold.
Sure.
It's good enough in the main game. It's great. Like basically it's you're on a mountain and you're drifting everywhere. That's this is the drift DLC pack.
This is
and
Tokyo
it's fantastic.
Drift.
Yeah. Man, even better. See?
Yeah.
It's really good. They nailed it. It's super fun.
It's cool. And one of the things that I enjoy about Blizzard Mountain is I actually just enjoy driving around that map. It's not huge. It's not tiny, but it's not like the main map. It's not nearly as big as that. But I love going up to the top of that mountain and kind of flying off the edge.
Flying down, yeah.
Oh man,
great.
It's so cool. And man, that little mini, I'm telling you, that mini is a way to go. It is fast.
Are you talking about the Horizon Edition mini or the 4-wheel drive mini?
I don't know. It might be a Horizon
Edition. It's the Austin mini or the current mini, the 2012 mini.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to look at it.
They look completely different.
Yes, but all I remember is that it's a mini. I'm not thinking about what it looks like even when I'm playing the game.
Okay. You don't see color or shape.
I don't see brand or maker
model. No, you
model.
do see brands.
I don't see maker model.
Okay. Yeah. I don't see models either. Hey.
That's a good spicy. Nope.
Did you play anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's where
fair enough.
I'm done.
Have you ever heard of Pac-Man?
I've heard of it. I've heard of him.
Okay. I finished my arcade what do they call that series? Tri-Pack with Pac-Man. And it's Pac-Man.
Woo!
And it also has, just give me a second.
Oh.
That it has good achievements for doing fun stuff. Like eating all 4 ghosts with each pellet each time. Getting all the fruits.
It's a good one.
Fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. They did a good job. Not with all of the achievements. Most of them are easy and throwaway, but...
Which is, you know what? That's not awful, though. Like... Pac-Man is a lot of those older games like Pac-Man, Galaga, Frogger was another good example. They would put out games like that with achievements that are and again, I go back to the whole, like, I realize achievements are supposed to be difficult, but when you start putting things up there, like
all of
like
them,
this is where like the one achievement you've got left is to pretty much beat the world record. Like, come on.
Yeah, no.
I hate when they do that. When they do the super high point based ones, like
they're really good about just creative achievement design in these 3 games, which is good. Like these games especially, I wouldn't be getting these. Like I wouldn't get these if they didn't have fun achievements because they're freaking Pac-Man and Galaga.
Yeah, you've played them 1,000 times.
Yes, these add value and fun and goals. So yeah, that's good case.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
Use case.
Woo!
Design case? I don't know. Suitcase. I did play DuckTales, Matt. I played through all of it. Beginning to end. DuckTales 1.
It's not fat. It's not long. It doesn't take...
And we talked about this actually because you're doing Darkwing, so I was thinking about starting with Darkwing so that we could talk about that at the same time or something. And then I got a bug that I wanted to do it in chronological order. I want to take a trip through history. So I went through
Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Yes, and then after that was DuckTales. It's fun. I am glad I'm doing it historically because it's Mega Man.
Yes.
Like 5 minutes into DuckTales, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Mega Man, isn't it? Like it's fun to get reacquainted with basically Capcom's signature from that time period, which is just far-reaching. Like there's and I think there's only like a year between DuckTales and Chip and Dale's.
Yeah.
Rescue Rangers, use the full title. But DuckTales is better.
It is.
It's kind of amazing how much the pogo adds to that game. Like that makes it.
You cannot get through DuckTales. Like 99% of that game, if you're not pogoing through it, you're probably playing it wrong.
It figures into the whole design of the game, like the areas you have to get into and stuff like that. Rescue Rangers doesn't have any of that. You're kind of just jumping and shooting the whole time. It is easier. I'm also doing there's achievements for doing speed runs, and there's an actual speed run mode. And Boss Rush is another mode where it's just you fight all the bosses. The achievements are stupid because they're like, do the speed run in under 2 hours and you finish each game in like 30 minutes. So that's the hard part is that you don't get a rewind in the speed run mode.
I'm not gonna bother with that.
It was rough for DuckTales. Like I had to.
Oh, did you do it?
Take some time. I did it for DuckTales. Rescue Rangers isn't a thing. Like it's easy. I don't think I died even when I had the rewind. But yeah, they're good games. It's fun.
Rescue Rangers was one that I feel like was that one succeeded specifically because it was 2-player. Like that was playing with a second player was.
That's true. Yeah,
where that game
would
shined.
Totally add to it, huh?
Yeah.
Was DuckTales 2 players at all?
I don't think so. I think DuckTales was because it was just Scrooge bouncing around. Find the launch pad, McQuack.
Tailspin's up next, I'm pretty sure. So they just literally went in order of the shows, I think, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that next week. I'll throw in
right.
another 2 there. Would it be Tailspin and I think then Darkwing. So.
Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW.
And then I actually played some Call of Duty.
It's only been like a full year of, hey, gonna play Infinite Warfare this week.
Advanced Warfare.
Which one of us is wrong right now?
So I'm actually glad I did this because we just recently spoke about, and I can't remember why, but the zombie. Oh, it's because World War II, they released the info on zombies mode. And
yeah.
I had mentioned how I wasn't into that as much as the single player, which I'm not still anyways. But for the fact that the last time I played Nazi Zombies, and I remember what game it was for World at War, I'm pretty sure, which might have even been the first.
That's the first
Nazi
one,
Zombies.
I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. but it was just slow and plotting, and there was like a tower defense aspect to it, which is maybe my least favorite genre.
Sure.
So it didn't click with me at all. So I got the DLC. It was on sale a while ago for Advanced Warfare, and it's the zombies mode, basically. They tied that up all behind the DLC, and it's great. And for many reasons. Number one, it's basically Left 4 Dead with stars. This is the one where they got John Malkovich, freaking Game Over Man. Come on.
Bill Paxton,
Rose McGowan, and John Bernthal.
Sure.
Are the 4 characters.
Yep.
It is just cutscenes, but they have lines. It's Left 4 Dead. There's lines while you're playing that the characters play off each other. Left 4 Dead was great about fleshing out or having fun with archetypes, right?
Yeah.
The army vet and Bill, the gruff army vet.
Bill.
And it was great. Like that was one of the great draws, is how they told the story in that game, right?
Yeah. The character interactions and everything were fantastic.
They're totally ripping that off here
Nice.
with stars, basically, is what they're doing. And it's fun. Like they added the tower defense thing is gone. If anything, it's the opposite. You're
blow up the tower.
That's the zombies still, I guess. You're spending money to get through the level, to open doors, and then you use it to upgrade your weapons or get buffs. And it's all simplified. It's not so dense that you, going back to maybe Killing Floor 2, that was kind of one of the things that turned me off, other than the gameplay's nowhere as good as
Sure.
any Call of Duty. But it was really dense. Like you go into any of the upgrades, and that's fine. I'm not knocking this. It's just
you're
my
not
thing.
You hate it. Understood. Killing Floor 2 developers, go die.
Well, we've talked about this a ton of times too. Like especially with I think Star Wars Battlefront. Like I love the pared down approach.
Right.
Like there are some games I can get into for sure. Like Overwatch goes a lot deeper, probably more gameplay wise than otherwise. But that's probably a bad example because there's not upgrades and stuff like that. But yes. They did that in a way here.
Let you dig your own hole on that, and then...
No, that's fine. You are correct. It's done just to my liking here with this, and using the stars and the lines. There's cutscenes that look. You remember how good Advanced Warfare looked?
Yeah,
Kevin Spacey and all that. It all looks that good. Like the cutscenes look fantastic. Malkovich's lines are good. It's good. It's really good, and it's really fun, and it has these cutscenes that tell a story until Bruce Campbell comes in as a commando, and then it just gets better.
Well, yes,
I'm not that far actually in the story. Yeah, I know, right? It does. The only thing I want to mention, I guess there's this thing, and I'm as I'm looking up some guides for some of these for the achievements too, I'm kind of getting a taste for the culture, like the whole, Nazi zombies, or just the zombies mode for DLC Call of Duty is a huge thing, right? It's got a huge, that's the stupidest thing I could have ever said. But they use terms, like it has its own lingo and just all this stuff. Like half of the guides I read use all the lingo, and I have no idea what they're asking me to do. Right? Like they're like, just go get Juggernog, and I'm like, nothing in this game is called Juggernog. It's because that's the buff that they've called it probably since World at War. They just rename it every time in the game, but the fans don't follow that. They just still call it Juggernaut. I don't know. Basically, there's this thing that everybody calls an Easter egg, which is stupid, but whatever. It's kind of the goal of the mode to get to the story. Even for me, anyways, I guess the goal of the mode is to survive for as many waves as you can. Whatever. There's this huge, complicated mission structure where I can't even remember all. You have to get a black box, you take it to a computer, you then have to go get the badges for each of the 4 characters, but the things you do to get them are all different. You like one of them, you have to like shoot a thing down, and then you have to get Exo Slam, which is the thing that lets you slam ground pound, and you do that and you pop up a cell, and then you get a card there. You have to go into the dumpster for another one and shoot the floor till it pops up out of the dump. And this is all told through the lines. Like apparently somebody at some point's like, oh yeah, I lost my ID card in the garbage or something like that. I didn't get any of that because I'm following a guide, but it was actually super fun trying to go through all these things. As complicated as it was, like the first time I read it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hate this. This is stupid. Loved it. It was super fun. The point being, it's how you call in the rescue, but then the rescue explodes and that the story advances.
Because it's advanced warfare.
That's why.
Yeah.
Man.
No, man.
I liked it.
I really want to try those modes. I just don't want to ever buy the whole game.
I think I sold your copy of Advanced Warfare for you.
Oh, well, yeah, you did. I don't have that. Yeah.
It's fun.
If
I don't know.
If I had it, I would probably still not buy the DLC, but I want, like...
It's expensive, man. Even on sale, it's like $30 or something.
One of those things, like, sell it separately. Just sell it separately. It's a whole separate game.
I guess they are with the zombies mode anyways.
That's true. When that comes out, I may actually pick that up. That might be how they get me.
And then the last thing I played was Dance Central.
Okay. Are you okay?
I am in constant pain. Everything hurts. I don't know how to play a game for 1 hour at a time. I probably should learn.
It took me a minute to realize that means you played for like 3 hours. And you were
a day.
Yeah, and
2 days in a row.
I'm guessing you were just drenched in sweat. And
oh yeah.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
You sicken me.
I still am.
Yeah, you are you're glistening.
Drenched and gross. No, it's the name of my autobiography. Actually, I got hooked on that game, man. I don't know, like I never wanted to go back and play a game so much and not be able to. Like I can't. I am physically incapable of playing that game right now as much as I want to.
I love that you busted your move. You didn't do what he was.
Other things.
It's not what he was talking about. I think you misinterpreted the song title.
That song's not in there, man. What am I gonna do? I create my own dance routine, I guess.
Hey, you know what? If you need some ideas, turn on the movie Bring It On.
Oh, well, I mean, it's already on.
Sparky Pilastri.
That and Step Up.
Step
2, The Streets.
Tokyo Drifter. Step Up 3, Tokyo Drift.
So next week is going to be Time Machine, LA Confidential,
Hot Rod,
and Hot Rod, and Step Up 2, The Streets.
There we go. You've got a very busy week. Let's get. With that being said, there's not a ton of fantastic news that we need to get into. So we're gonna do a special lightning round news section.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not gonna be as
like a complete opposite of last week.
Yes.
Where there was no lightning round. Check it out. If you haven't checked out No Lightning Round, go check it out last week.
Yeah, it's a whole
hitpoints.com.
It's a whole new thing. So all right, here we go. So
okay,
news items we don't want to spend too much time on. Ryan Miller.
I won't.
Ubisoft has announced that For Honor will finally be getting dedicated servers in a future update.
What about dedicated players?
The price for PlayStation Plus is going up £10 for Europeans.
That's what you get.
Some Pokemon Go Fest attendees are filing a lawsuit against Niantic for travel reimbursement.
Pokesuing. Sorry, move on. Next one.
The producer of Dragon Ball FighterZ, the producer of Dragon Ball Fighters has confirmed Trunks will be in the game.
For like your items?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For what? Elephants?
It's in the room.
I've never seen an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know anything about it. GameStop has told its employees that it will be open on Thanksgiving this year.
Questionable decision from an otherwise stellar company. Man.
A man was stabbed 7 times by his opponent in a Magic the Gathering game.
What card is that? I feel bad. We shouldn't even be joking. Condolences.
He's fine.
For our bad jokes.
And
for the dude.
Yeah, he's fine. The Destiny 2 PC beta opens on August 28th.
Nice. Or that sucks. Am I the one that hates Destiny, or is that you?
No, it's the end of the lightning round. Thank you for playing, Ryan Miller. We'll get back to you with our points right after this. Upcoming games. These are the games that are coming out this week. They're probably games that you're not going to go seek. You're not going to play them. I'm not playing them, but maybe one on Tuesday, yes. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know Is any of that true, or was it just to
I like to rhyme.
Fit the intro? Okay. That's just victim of the rhymes.
Yeah.
0 hit points.
Rhyme victim.
Tacoma comes out today. That looks good. What are you talking about? I'd play that.
I've been to Tacoma. It's not a great place. It smells weird.
Fair. What about next Tuesday the 8th? Lawbreakers.
I've been to Lawbreakers. It's not a great place. It doesn't smell very good.
Okay.
I don't know what I said the first time. Yeah, it's not a day one for me, but it's a day watch it and see how people love it. And
did you play that beta? I feel like you touched it.
I did. No, I did not. I played the alpha. I had the beta downloaded, never got into it because that stupid puppy showed up.
Oh, right. The blood puppy.
Yes, blood puppy.
Hey, what are we going to stream tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I think we teased it earlier. We're going to do some more Forza Horizon Blizzard Mountain.
Usually, the longer the show goes, the more it turns into a song. This is still a relatively short show, and yet it's very musical at this point.
Feeling great. I'm feeling
Next
hungry.
week, I'm going to play Infinite Warfare.
That's Advanced Warfare.
Some more of the Disney Afternoon Collection. Probably move on to the next DLC pack for Advanced Warfare. Let's. There will be more, but let's not overpromise here. What are you gonna?
I'm gonna try and I am gonna try and finish out Darkwing Duck this week, so more Disney Afternoon for myself. Definitely more Paragon. I'm gonna play that. Definitely some more PUBG. So keep your eyes open for that one as well. Probably gonna try to squeeze some Prey in there, and then on Friday I will be streaming Fortnite, and I'll be giving away a copy of the game. So join me. It'll be 8 p.m. PST. 8 p.m. pissed.
Okay. I think we covered everything.
Cool.
Thanks for showing up, everybody.
Yeah.
We don't say thank you enough to the people that hang out with us.
Yeah, thank you, viewers.
In any capacity, really.
We apologize for the content we give you, and we're sorry that it's not good enough. But thank you for continuing to listen and believing in us, because without you, we wouldn't have viewers.
You're being sincere.
I am.
Okay.
Did that not sound sincere?
I think that's maybe our other issue, but
our viewers are so smart, though.
We should probably stop now.
Why?
Here at 0HITPOINTS.com.